All right, what is up, guys? Today we're going to talk about dip buying in areas of potentially dip buy because we just saw a big pullback in Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and the whole entire market, and then things just absolutely ripped and crushed. So just talking about where potential areas to buy, as we've talked about before, where do things typically bounce? Right around the 13 to 20 EMA. And look at exactly what happened here on Bitcoin. It hit the 13 EMA, ranged to the 20 EMA, and bounced in the area. Now, we did have that massive panic sell-off, right? All the way down to 30K. What's 30K? A whole number. So this probably stopped a shitload of people out, and that can happen, right? Nothing is perfect. A lot of people, get scared, and the panic sets in, and that was when I, initially shorted right here, and this screwed over a lot of people. But that was also an amazing buy opportunity right at 30K. Did I buy right there? No, I was asleep. Okay, that's the problem with crypto, is it's open 24/7, so you can't watch it all the time. You got to go to sleep, and you also have to have a social life and a life in general. So that was an unfortunate thing that a lot of things happen. But again, what matters most? The closing price, right? And so when we look at the closing prices, we still are basically, this is the closing prices bounced right off the 13 EMA and then bounced. Just looking at a few plays here that we got into on the bounce, one was Algo, ALGO. As you can see, this came back down, bounced near the 13 EMA, 20 EMA, and as you can see, where did I buy in? I bought back in on the dip right here at 39. If we look at the daily chart, one day, remember when we previously did the trade review, I bought in here and here, sold on the way up, and now I just bought back in here based on, okay, where was the previous, breakout levels? The breakout highs around 40 cents, another whole number, right? So I got in at 39, right around that whole level number of tens, right around 40 cents, okay? So the breakout buy on the closing prices, was down around 35, but the peak highs of a lot of these candles are around 40. 38, 39, okay? So that's where I bought right back in there. Buy the dip, watch fucking rip. Look at that perfect buy entry there. 39 cents, now we're up big on it, okay? Another one that I totally fucked up, as I just talked about, DOT, that you probably just watched. Now check out what DOT did. Now again, remember, it kind of sucks when you don't have the freedom to hold as long as you want. Like, right, I would be holding DOT for a longer term hold if I had it in cash, but I have that 28-day limit. So that makes me a little bit nervous and kind of fucks up my decision making. As you can see, I exited both my DOT positions at 849 and then 892. And then today, this has absolutely crushed it. DOT, where did it bounce? Right on the 13 and 20 EMA, and it's absolutely crushed. It's up 32% today. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. At the end of the day, I made an awesome fucking trade. I would have liked to be a longer term holder, at least for some sort of position in here, but I had to sell within 28 days anyways, which is coming up relatively soon. And I didn't know if things were gonna bounce here, right? But they did, thankfully, right? So that's like, in theory, theoretically, the statistics probability is higher for it to bounce here, but we don't know that, right? Just like it ripped right through it and came all the way down, at that point, that is giving so many people sell signals to get the fuck out of this position. And then things came back up, right? A lot of times there's massive volatility that can just ruin the charts, and those signals that are supposed to work just don't at all, right? So this is why trading is hard, because things can get very volatile, and people think technical analysis is a thing that actually works 100% of the time, and that's far from the truth. And a lot of times you have to use intuition as well, okay? But another one that we bought into, SRM, bought in on the dip here, right? We first initially got in here, ripped up, and then came back down, pretty volatile, and then I sold up here in the 170s, and I just added here again, and now look what it's doing when it retested these breakout levels. SRM is now up 14%. IOTA is another one that I bought in the dip right near the 13 and 20 EMA. If we look at the weekly chart, I really like this weekly chart potential breakout here for a revival breakout pattern. So this is a beautiful revival breakout. If we can hold this and then break out above here, we're gonna fucking shred. But look where I bought. Even on the weekly chart, we can see where this exactly bounced. On the weekly chart, where did it bounce? Exactly at the 13 and 20 EMA, right? So this is just dip buy areas. And it's sometimes hard to buy on the dip, because when you're buying on the dip, everything is crashing and it feels like the world's ending. So that's why it's so hard, because a lot of people are panicking and in super big fear. And that's why when you buy things at the top, you have to be able to have very tight stops, because if you buy at the top, by the time things get back down here, you have zero confidence, you're at a massive loss, you have no free capital, and you're freaking the fuck out. And you're selling down here for losses. When people who have free capital and didn't buy at the top, they're a lot more comfortable and have the confidence to buy there. So these are just some examples of being able to buy the dip and watching it freaking rip. ADA is another one that we bought on the dip. I bought at 23 cents, right near the 20 EMA. I got in at 23 cents. Now this thing is still shredding. I bought that in my other account that I can't necessarily talk about yet. But if we look at where I initially was in, it would be nice. The other account broker I'm talking about is not with CryptoWatch yet. I just emailed them, asked them what the fuck, like I want to use this inside of here. So we'll see if hopefully they add it. But initially, you know, we got in on ADA down here at 19 cents. And then it bounced where? Right on the 20 EMA and then popped back up. So in my other account, I bought this at 23 cents. 50,000 shares at 23, as I alerted in the Discord chat. So again, just wanted to make a quick video on dip buys and where things a lot of times dip. Between the range of the 13 and 20 EMA, and how we're making bank on it right now. And we can see, posted in, I woke up this morning, went into Krypton, I said, let's fucking go. Dip buys on Algo, ADA, SRM, 1 inch, IOTA, all crushing, still long uni, ADA, ETH core positions, right? Everyone's fucking pumped. 236 likes on the money bags. Let's fucking go. Let's make some money.